Vyas for today is my father, Pandit Mahadeo Deopersaud, who hails from Port Moran, Quarantine, Berbice, Guyana. He is the son of the late Pandit Deopersaud Matabik and the late Minawati Deopersaud. His Dharam Patni is Kamati Deopersaud, and they have been married for over 42 years. They have 3 sons and 2 grandchildren. Pandit Mahadeo attended Quarantine High School in Port Moran, Guyana. He holds a GCE O-level certificate with 10 subjects. He also holds a bachelor's and a master's degree in psychology from Brooklyn College and Queens College. In Guyana, he worked at the Bank of Baroda and also taught French at Quarantine Comprehensive High School. In New York, he worked for the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene for over 32 years until he retired in August of 2019. He retired so that he can focus more on our Hindu Sanatan Dharma. Pandit Mahadeo has dedicated an even greater part of his life as a Pandit. As a child, he attended many pujas that his father presided at. He had his Upnayan Samskar when he was 8 years old. His guru was the late Pandit Kamta Deopersaud of the Gwen Island, Essequibo, Guyana. He was officially encouraged to become a Pandit by his father and Pandit Rishiram Prasad. He was anointed with the title of Dharam Bhushan by the late Dharamacharya Pandit Chandrika Prasad in the year 2000. He currently serves as a Pandit of the New York Hindu Sanatan Mandir in East Elmhurst, Queens, New York. Our Vyas, Pandit Mahadeo, brings a huge amount of experience to the Vyas Aslan here at Ramayan in the Park. In fact, this is the 5th time he is reading here. He has also read yajnas in Guyana, Canada, and throughout the United States. It is with great pleasure I hand over the reins to our Vyas for this 4th session of Ramayan in the Park 2022 to none other than Pandit Mahadeo Deopersaud. Prem Si Vyas Maharaj Ki Jai.
Very great introduction. I thank each and every one of you for being here. My blessings of God, I thank all of you for leaving your home and coming here and to be with me. My sisters, my 2 sisters, my god sister, Bahaji Chandrawati Prasad of the Dharmpatni of or late Dharmacharya, Pandit Chandrika Prasad. And my smallest sister, Subhadra Shivratan. She celebrates, Subhadra is celebrating her 60th birthday, and Chandrawati is celebrating her 81st birthday. Let's give them a big round of applause. I have to confess that when my sister came here to do Vyas Puja, it brought a couple of tears to my eyes. Because I remember my mom. Why I remember her is because when this little child used to go to school, my mother used to go with her. She would stay in the schoolyard until school is over, and then the 2 of them will come back home together. In fact, my mother and her go to school together. It seems like a joke right now, but it actually happens. And to remember my mother as she was doing Vyas Puja bring some sentimental feelings towards me. So with that in mind, we clasp our hands in prayer. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Om Shri Saraswati Namah. Om Ishtadevaya Namah. Kuladevaya Namah. Om Sanadevaya Namah. Gramadevaya Namah. Matre Pitre तस्मै चरणकमलेभ्यो नमो नमः। ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा ॐ ब्रह्मा मुरारी त्रिपुरन्तकारी भानुशशी भूमिसुतो बुधस्य गुरुस्य शुक्र शनिराहुकेतवः कुर्वन्तु सर्वे मम सुप्रभातं। सर्वे ग्रहाः शान्तिकरा भवन्तु, सर्वे ग्रहाः शान्तिकरा भवन्तु। ॐ अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्परं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः, तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ श्री रामचंद्राय नमः। ॐ श्री कृष्णायभ्यो नमोस्तुते। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवायभ्यो नमोस्तुते। ॐ भद्रं कर्णभिः शृणुयाम देवाः, भद्रं पश्येमक्षभिर्यजत्रः, स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्ट्वागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यासेमो द्योतं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतयः, स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्वदेवः, स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यरिष्टनेमिः, स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरि ॐ योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजवान् पशुमान् भवति। चन्द्रमा वा अपं पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजवान् पशुमान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामयतनं वेद यतनवान् भवति। अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनं भवति। ॐ यो ग्रग्नेरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो अग्निरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यो वायुरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वे वायुरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आसो वे तपनपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यो मुष्य तपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वा अमुष्य तपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। चन्द्रमा वा आपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वे चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। नक्षत्राणि वा आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यो नक्षत्राणाम् आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वे नक्षत्राणामायतनम् अयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद अयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् अयतनवान् भवति य पर्जन्यस्य यतनं वेद अयतनवान् भवति आपो वे पर्जन्यस्य अतयतनम् अयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद अयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् अयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्य यतनं वेद अयतनवान् भवति आपो वे संवत्सरस्य अयतनम् अयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सु नवं प्रतिष्ठतां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसन्नाय शिक्षणे नमो वयं वे श्रवणाय कर्महे सामे कामाय कर्मयं कामेश्वरो वैश्वरनो दधातु कुबेराय वैश्रवणाय महाराजाय नमो नमः ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरि ओम प्रेम से श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. We start, I'd like you to join with me as we pray Bhagavan Shri Ganesh in this beautiful bhajan. Ganapati Baba Moria, 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 Ganapati Baba Moria. Sudha karta dakharta mere Ganapati Baba Moria, Sudha karta dakharta mere Ganapati Baba Moria. आओ प्रभु मेरा आओ मंगलम गतिराओ, आओ प्रभु मेरा आओ मंगलम गतिराओ. गणपति बाबा मोरिया, गणपति बाबा मोरिया, गणपति बाबा मोरिया, गणपति बाबा मोरिया. जय जयकार हुए जग अंदर, घर घर में तेरा मंदिर. जय जयकार हुए जग अंदर, घर घर में तेरा मंदिर. प्रेम की ज्योति जलाने वाले मन की ज्योति जलाओ, जलाने वाले मन की ज्योति जलाओ. गणपति बाबा मोरिया, गणपति बाबा मोरिया, गणपति बाबा मोरिया. सुख करता हरता मेरे गणपति बाबा मोरिया, सुख करता हरता मेरे गणपति बाबा मोरिया. आओ प्रभु मेरे आओ मंगलम गतिराओ, गणपति बाबा मोरिया, गणपति बाबा मोरिया, गणपति बाबा मोरिया, गणपति बाबा मोरिया. सारे जग के तुम स्वामी, सारे जग Moria re, Papa Moria re, 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 Moria re, Papa Moria re. Moria, Ekadanta Moria, Krishnaksha Moria, Rajavanta Moria, Moria re, Papa Moria re, 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 Moria re, Papa Moria re. Moria, Moria, Vekantam Moria, Vikarajantam Moria, Dhugavanam Moria, Moria re, Papa Moria re, 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 Bharatan Moria, Vinatam Moria, Ganapatim Moria, Gajananam Moria, Moria re, Papa Moria re, 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 Moria re, Papa Moria re. Jai Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. At this time, without hesitation, we commence the reading of the Kishkinda-khand of the Ramcharitmanas. But in doing so, I want to have some praise and thanks to give, and I'll do that at this moment. Har 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 Mahadeo, Har 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 Mahadeo, Har 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 Mahadeo, Har 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 Mahadeo. First and foremost, I want to thank the Supreme Lord, Bhagwan Sri Ram, for granting me this opportunity to recite His glory from Kishkinda-khand. Har 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 Mahadeo. Next, I wish to congratulate the Ramayan Park Committee for doing such a fabulous job in organizing this yajna. It takes a lot. Those of you who have gotten involved with it would have known that it is a huge task to do what they do here. And I want my praise and thanks go to them, and all more praise and thanks go to them, the Ramayan Park Committee. Give them a big round of applause. I want to thank all the Panditjis for being a part of this gathering here this evening, those who have been here in the past and those who will be in the future. I also want to thank especially our Dharmacharya in mind so far, Pandit Chunilal Narayan. Give him a bit of applause. You have to really admire the great work that he does for the community. He also gives great summaries of our pravachan once we are finished. And you will be witnessing that tonight also. I also want to thank Panditji Prakash Lakshmi Narayan for conducting the puja for my two sisters here this evening. And knowing him, I know that he did a great puja for them. Let's give him a big round of applause. He is also one of the the members of the Shakti Yawan Samaj. He did the puja, but as you can see, he's playing on the harmonium, and his two main singers of the Shakti Yawan Samaj are Sanjay and Kiran, and the drummer is by Vedant. Give them a round of applause because they are going to so far. It's going to many households, perhaps thousands. I want you to give them a round of applause also. Thanks. Har 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 Mahadev, Har 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 Mahadev, Har 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 Mahadev, Har 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 Mahadev, Har Har Mahadev. Kundendivar Sundaro Divaro Vijnana Dhama Bhubho Shobhadyo Vare Dhan Vino Shuddho Nito Vipra Vrinda Priyo Maya Manushya Rupino Raghuvaro Sadharma Paramohito Siddhanveshana Tatparo Patigato Bhakti Pradhoto Hina Har 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 Mahadev, Har 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 Mahadev, Har Har Mahadev. Now those verses are saying, O Lakshman, O Bhagwan Shri Ram, thou art lovely as a jasmine and a blue lotus respectively, of surpassing strength. Thou art repositories of wisdom, endowed with natural grace. Thou art excellent bowman, though thou art hidden by the Vedas. Thou art the lovers of cows and the Brahmanas. Thou appeared in the form of mortal men to your armors to the armors of religion. Friendly, thou art friendly to all, and journeying in the quest of finding Sita Ma. May you both, Bhagwan Shri Ram and Lakshman, grant us this evening an immense amount of devotion. Har 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 Mahadev, Har Har Mahadev, Raman Bodhi Samudbhavam Kalimala Pravansanam Chavyayam Shrimachambu Mukendu Sundaravare Sanshobhitam Sarvara Sansaram Maya Bheshajam Sukakaram Shri Janaki Jivanam Dhanyase Krishna Pibanti Satatam Shri Ramanam Amritam. Har Har are those pious ones who ceaselessly quaff the nectar of Sri Ram's name. That name, which has been churned out of the ocean of the Vedas, that name which completely destroys the sins of this age, Kali Yuga. That name that knows no decay, which shines ever bright in the most beautiful moonlight month of the glorious mouth of the glorious Shambhu, a palatable remedy for the disease of transmigration and the very life of Sita. Hare 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 Mahadeo, Hare 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 Mahadeo, Hare 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 Mahadeo, Hare 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 Mahadeo, Hare Hare Mahadeo, Hare Hare Bholenath, Parvati Pati Kari Bhare Bharana, Mukti Janma Mahigyani, Jnana Tani Yag Hani Kar, Jo Sumirat Bholenath, Parvati Pati Kari Bhare Bharana, Jaha Bas Sambhu Bhavani, So Kasi Sai Kasana, Jo Sumirat Bholenath, Parvati Pati Kari Bhare Bharana, Jagat Sakala Muradan, Vishamagal Jehi Pan Kiya, Jo Sumirat Bholenath, Parvati Pati Kari Bhare Bharana, Tehi na bhajasi man ko, Kripala Sankar Sarisa, Kripala Sankar Sarisa, Jo Sumirat Bholenath, Parvati Pati Kari Bhare Bharana, Parvati Pati Kari Bhare Bharana. Why not reside? Tulsidas is asking us, why not reside in Kashi, the abode of Shambhu and Bhavani Ma, knowing it to be the birthplace of Mukti. So he's asking us, why don't we? Why should we all go and live in Kashi, where Bhagwan Shiva lives? आगे चले बहुरी रघुराया, ऋष्यमूक पर्वत नियराया, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, आज चले बहुरी रघुराया, ऋष्यमूक पर्वत नियराया, कहा रह सचिव सहित सुग्रीवा, आवत देखिय तुल परसीवा, श्री राम कह सुनो हनुमान, पुरुष जुगल बल रूप निधान, धरि पटु रूप देखुत जाई, कहे सुजानी लिय शयन भुजाई, श्री राम जय पतये बाली कोई मन मैला भागो तुरत तजे यह सैला विप्ररूप धरि कपिल हृदय मात नाई पूछत अस भय श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम को तुम श्यामल गौर शरीरा चक्रिरूप फिरहु मन वीरा कटिन भूमि कोमल पद गामी कवन हेतु विचरहु बन स्वामी श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय मृदुल मनोहर सुंदर गाता सहज दुष्पन आपत बाता तुम्हती देव महतो नर नारायण तुम्हरो श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जग कारण कारण भाव भंजन धरणी भार कि तुम अखिल भुवन पति लीन मनुज अवतार सियापति रामचंद्र की जय जय प्रभु. Continuing from where Vyas left off yesterday, he said that Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman, they have visited with Shabri, and Shabri has instructed them that if they go to the Rishabh mountain, they will find an individual there by the name of Sugriv, and Sugriv will instruct them or will tell them how to find Sita Mata. So the Kishkinda Khan in his first Chaupai says, Aage chale bahuri raguraya, that Bhagwan Shri Ram and Lakshman, they forced ahead and they went and they were walking towards it. They were not giving up, they went straight ahead. First lesson here, that when we are faced with any kind of a dilemma in life, we must force ahead until we attain that success in that which we seek in our lives. So Bhagwan Ram has not found Sita yet, so he forced ahead and based on what he was instructed to do. As he was approaching the Rishabh mountain, Sugriv, who was hiding from his brother Vali and was living up there in the mountain, he spotted the two of them coming. And he became very suspicious that maybe those two who are coming, they are coming to put an end to his life. So he told his chief minister. And who was his chief minister? His chief minister was none other than Bhagwan Sri Hanuman. He says, "Oh Hanuman, change your form." We all know Hanuman. Hanuman is very humble and he takes instructions very easily. He listens and he takes instructions. So when Sugriv told him, change your form. Change your form to a Brahman or Brahmana, different. And when you change your form, go there and see what is the purpose of these two individuals coming towards this Rishyamukh mountain. So Hanuman, obeying his king's order, he went there and he approached Bhagwan Sri Ram and Lakshman. And he immediately asked them, who are you? Who are you that you're treading these hard grounds, strewn with pebbles and hard rocks? You're braving the stormy weather, the sunshine, the brilliant sunshine, and you're walking towards this Rishyamukh mountain. That's the pains that we as human beings have to go through in order to earn a living for our loved ones in life. We work hard and we toil and strain, go to work every day, sometimes 2 shifts in order to make ends meet. And here we're seeing Ram and Lakshman having this mission to find Sita Mata. They're going through this hardship. So Hanuman is asking this question, who are you? And in Bhagwan Ram's mind and Lakshman's mind, they're asking the same question, who are you? And today as I'm telling and I'm asking these questions, I want to ask you all. The theme of this yajna is adoring the members of our community. You are our community. And we are adoring you all in this yajna. So I have to ask the question, who are you? Who are all of us here? We're all individuals. And we are all living a life with no deep thinking as to who we really are. So Hanuman asks even further, are you, asking Ram and Lakshman, are you two being guided? Are you two being guided, and are you two being guided and protected by Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva? And furthermore, he asks, are you Nara Narayan? Nara Narayan refers to like Arjuna and Lord Krishna. Arjuna is Nar, man, and Krishna is Narayan. So are you Nara Narayan? Are you God and Arjuna? Are you God and man walking here together? And the question rocks also when it comes to all of us. Who are we? Who are all of us? And for that, I want to go to a book that is called a Narayaniyam. It is written by Melpathur Narayan Bhattacharya. This book here is a book that is studied in the Sanskrit classes in India. Because this poet, he writes very beautiful Sanskrit, very correct Sanskrit. And the verse goes like this. Mayayam dimbitasvam srijasi mahada hankara hanmatra bhede bhuta gramendriyadyerapi sakala jagat sapya anga sankalpakalpam bhuyaha samritya sarvam kamata iva padanyan mana kala shakya gambhire jayamane tapasi viti miro bhasi tasme namaste. What is this that Melpathur Narayan Bhattacharya is writing here? He says, thou, referring to Bhagwan. Thou reflected in Maya. As it explained this word Maya a little bit, many people translate Maya to mean what? Let me hear you all say. What does Maya mean? Illusion. No, Maya is not illusion. You're telling me if someone, a woman is called Maya, if he's walking in front of us here, is she an illusion? No, she's real. So Maya is mistranslated as illusion. Maya is not illusion. Maya is real. So Narayana, Vaji Nalpatur is saying here, thou reflected in Maya, thus project the entire universe by means of Mahat. But the theory is saying here that thou project this world, thou project this entire universe by means of Mahat, Ahankar, the 5 tanmatas, the 5 elements, the organs of sense and action, etc. Like objects projected in a dream. It is not a dream. What is projected by the Lord is not a dream. But he's comparing it to a dream. And you'll see why. Then at the time of Pralaya, at the final stage of the dissolution, when everything will be reabsorbed, thou, by means of thy power in the form of time, God in the form of time, Kal, thus withdraw everything into thyself, like a tortoise, like a turtle, drawing in its limbs. When the whole universe does become unmanifest, thou dost shine. Thou shines alone, untouched by that obliteration of the universe that was before all of us and that which we experience. So Bhattacharya, he's saying here that this world that we live in is projected by him. It's projected by him. The limbs that are projected like the turtle, the body is hidden in the turtle. All right? The body of God, you cannot see the body of God. But the limbs that come out, all the limbs that come out, they are reflected in all of us. And we are real because the Lord has sent us forth. We are real just like the gods that we worship. So, Bhattacharya is saying here that you are very special. All of us, we are very special. And that's why Ramayan in the park is honoring all of you. He's honoring you all. We are honoring all of you because you are all very special. So, Tulsidas, he continues. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Kosale Dasharat ke jaaye हम पितु बचन मानी बन आए नाम रूप लक्ष्मण दो भाई संग नारी सुकुमारी सुहाई श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Hari Nimitar विषमेहि विप्रपरहि हमको जत देहि आपन चरित कह हम गाई कहूँ विप्र निज तथा बुझाई श्री राम जय राम प्रभु पछतानी करे गई चरना सो मुकमा जाई नहीं भरना पुलकित तन मुख आवन बचना देखत सचर देख के रचना श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम तुम्हें रचो पूजा साई तुम पूछहु कसर की नाई श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय तव माया बस तेरहु भोलाना ताजे में नहीं प्रभु पहचाना श्री राम ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय एक में मंद मोह बस कुतल हृदय अज्ञान पुनि प्रभु मोहि बिसरेहु दीन बंधु रघुनाथ दीन बंधु रघुनाथ सियापति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम प्रभो शिव शंकर भगवान की जय. So if we all come from God, as Bhattacharya says, then we have to be named after God. So here Ram is saying that he is the son of Dasharatha. He comes from Kosalis, which is Ayodhya, and his brother is Lakshman. All of us, we have names. But what is our names? Our names, I'm Mahadeo. It is named after the God that I come from. Panditji Prakash is Prakash, and he's named after the God, from the God that he came from. All of you, I hope you have a Hindu name, to be named after the God you come from. You're the projection, you're the limb of that turtle, the body that is hidden. God is hidden in the shell, and we are the extensions. And because we come from God, we have to be named according to where we come from, and that is God. So if you don't have a Hindu name, you will have to call your Pandit and tell your Pandit to check the Panchang for you and let him give you a Hindu name. And going forward, you will call the name that you're given, and stop calling. If your name is John, stop people from calling you John. If your name is Michael, stop people from calling you Michael. If you are called Mark, stop people from calling you Mark. And this is very crucial, because when we give our children Christian names, what we are doing is we are making them, we're facilitating their conversion into Christianity and into Islam. What is the first thing that the Muslims do? If a Muslim boy marries a Hindu girl, they change her name to a Muslim name. If if you, a Christian boy, get married to a Hindu girl, they change her name also to something Christian. So if you are being called by a Christian name, okay, what you have to do is to change that. So that, and when you name your children and your grandchildren, most of you are here, are due to have grandchildren at this time, if you don't already have any. When they're born, call your Pandiji and tell your Pandiji, I want a Hindu name. And I'll have to tell you that recently, let's say the past 3 months, when I was called, I'll give the people that call for the grandchildren and the children, I'll give them up to 20 names sometimes. 20 names. I'll text them with meanings. And when I meet up with them, and I ask them, what did you name your child? Margaret. That's not how it works. You have to also respect your Pandiji. And when he gives you names, you must know he gives you for a reason. And the reason is you want to identify with the God that you come from. So here, Bhagwan Ram and identify himself as Sri Ram. Okay? And Hanuman, right away, he started to think. And he says to himself that this is the person that I came in this world to serve. And here I am disguising myself. So we must not disguise ourselves as John and Mark and Micah. Right? We must not disguise ourselves. Because you are born to serve. You're born to serve the Supreme Lord that you come from. And for that reason you must identify yourself properly. So when Bhagwan Sri Hanuman, when he noticed who Bhagwan Ram is, he changed back his form. So it's not too late for us to change our names also. And to change the way we dress also. Right? By the way, I want you to give yourself a big round of applause for being properly dressed most of the year. So you must always identify yourself properly. So Hanuman, having recognized his Lord, he changed back his form into what he really was, the Vanar looking type of Hanuman that we are familiar with. And what did he say? He says, in the first place, Hanuman says in the Doha that was chanted, he said, in the first place, I am the witty. Here Hanuman is expressing his humility again. He says, O Bhagwan Ram, and O my Lord, I am so dull-witted and deluded. How is it that I cannot recognize you? Not only that, I am ignorant. Bhagwan Hanuman says, I am ignorant. To crown all my master, you are a befriender. You are a befriender of the humble, and no other than the Almighty Lord Himself. And he asked Bhagwan Sri Ram, have you forgotten me? We all know that Bhagwan Ram did not forget him. He's Antaryami, and Bhagwan Sri Ram knew who Hanuman was from the very beginning. He knew who he was. So we continue with these chaupas. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Jagadinath Bahu Avagun More Sevak Prabhu Pare Janu Bhore Ram. Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Har Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. कापर में रघुबीर दोहाई, जानऊ नहीं कछु भजन पाई। राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम। सेवक सुतपति मातु भरोसे, राई अशोक बनई प्रभु को से। राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम। अस कही पो चरण अकुलाई, निज तनु प्रगति प्रीति उरचाई। राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम। सुनो कथी जिया मानस जनि आऊना, देवमु प्रिया लक्ष्मण के धूना। राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम। समर रसी मोहि कह सब को, सेवक प्रिया अनन्य रखी सो। राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम, राम सिया राम जय जय राम। सो अनन्य जाके सी, मति न तरई हनुमंतो राम, मति न तरई हनुमंत। सो अनन्य जपेसी, मति न तरई हनुमंतो राम, मति न तरई हनुमंत। हे सेवक सदा सदा चलाकर, रूप स्वामी भगवन सियापति रामचंद्र की जय चरण। Hanuman continues with his humility, and he's showing us this Hanuman who is filled with the good gunas and who is sattvic in origin, and who knows his origin, that he comes from that body of the turtle. You too, and Hanuman too, came from that body of that turtle, as what the theory says. Okay? So, although my Lord, I have many faults. Don't you have many faults? Do we have many faults? Do we have anybody here who is perfect? No. No one is perfect. We have many faults. And Hanuman recognizes that. And he says, although my Lord, I have many faults, let not the servant, referring to himself, Hanuman, let not the servant be cast into oblivion by the master. We are all servants. Today we are all expressing that duty towards God by coming here. We are all servants of God. And we are praying that the God that we worship, the Supreme Lord that we worship here, Bhagwan Shiva, describes him in the verses that I chanted, the slokas that I chanted in the beginning. Bhagwan Ram is churned out from the Vedas, so he is the Supreme Lord. Bhagwan Ram. So we pray today and we ask Bhagwan Ram, as we worship him, that may he not cast us into oblivion, into darkness, and may he respond to our call every day in our life. So when we call out one another's name, each time we call out each other's name, when I say, Prakash, come here. When I say, Pandit Sunilal, come here. We are echoing the names of Bhagwan. We are recognizing Bhagwan's name. So, he alone, Bhagwan Hanuman continues, he says, he alone, Hanuman, listen to Hanuman, by the way, Sri Ram is saying, he's speaking to Hanuman, he says, listen to Hanuman, be not depressed. And that is what he's telling all of us here, as we reach out to him. Bhagwan is telling all of us, do not be depressed. Do not be depressed at heart. You are twice as dear to me. And by us reaching out to Bhagwan Sri Ram here tonight, he's telling us all that you're all twice as dear to him, even as his own brother Lakshman, who is standing beside him. And that is the humility also of this Maryada Purushottam, Bhagwan Sri Ram. He says, Hanuman describes Bhagwan Ram as the befriender of all. He is a friend of all beings. Everything, Bhagavad Gita says that clearly also, that he, Bhagwan, is the Supreme Lord, and he expresses himself through his creation, and he loves every being in his creation. So that takes us to the next set of chaupains. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Mitra Dukha Hoi Dukari, Jinha Vidhe Lokat Pathak Bhari, Nij Dukha Giri Sama Rajai Jana, Mitra Dukha Rajai Meru Samana. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jinha ke asimati sahajan aayi, te sakat hati karat mitai. Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram. Supat Nikari, Supat Chalawa, Guna Pragade Awa, Guna Hidurawa. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Lekha Lekha Mana Sangana Dharmai, Bala Hanuman Sahib Kari. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Vipati Kala Kara Satgun Neha, Suchita Santa Mitra गुण एहा राम 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 बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम. So going back to the analogy of the turtle with the limbs. The limbs represents the creation of Bhagwan. All of us and all things that we see, and it is not Maya. As if Maya walks here, we'll all see her. Okay? It's real. Maya is real. What Bhagwan is, I said it before, he's a befriender of all beings. All of us should therefore be, can anyone of you tell me what? We should all be friends. We should all be friends. And if we are not friendly by nature, then something is wrong. We have to possibly create a school of friendship. And that school is not Facebook. We have good friends on Facebook. Some of us, we have good friends on Facebook. But that's not the true school of friendship. I notice when you say anything constructive on Facebook, everybody is at your throat. They want to pull your throat out. And they argue. So, it's good. It's a good medium. But true friendship is not expressed on Facebook. I have to tell you, true friendship is not expressed on Facebook or any other social media. In fact, what Facebook and social media is doing, social media is keeping us apart. Because what we are doing, some of you here, I'm friends with you. And I didn't know who you are until I started coming here this week. I began to see some of you. And I've learned to connect with you as human beings. But when I see on Facebook, I see the Maya. I see not you. I see a mirror image of you. That is Maya. What I see on Facebook is Maya. I don't see the real you. So Bhagwan Ram is saying here that there are two kinds of friends. We should all be friends, but in the reality is we are not everybody is friendly. So Bhagwan says that there are two kinds of friends. One is parasitic, and one is symbiotic. These are two biological terms. The parasitic friend is the one who will take things from you, and take things from you, and take things from you, until he can't take anymore, until you die. Until he kills you. And when he has killed you, then he leaves. And the symbiotic friend, the true friend, is one from who you, both parties benefit. So it's in a relationship where, if it is, the best, I have to add also that the best friendship in today's society, even though I must stress, the best friendship should exist between all of us, where we live symbiotically, where we benefit from each other, and not parasitically, where Someone draws from you all that he can get and leaves you. That's parasitic. But I have to tell you that the best friendship you will find in your own home. The people who live in your home are the ones that are your best friends. And you go home tonight, and many of you have come, you've left your family and you have come here. You go home tonight and look back at your spouses, look back at your children, and tell me if these are not your best friends. Tomorrow I'll be here, I want you to come back and tell me that your family members are usually your best friends. Right? And they are not Maya, they are real. So I will urge you today also to be like family. If you're sitting here, always live like family. Always carry yourself with a smile. Carry forth yourself with a smile and greet everyone. Very beautiful, very cordial, very humane. Okay, so what is happening here? How is it that Sri Ram is talking about parasitic friendship and symbiotic friendship? He's talking about parasitic friendship because temporarily he and Sugriv would form a bond where he would agree that he would help Sugriv to attain kingship. And Sugriv in turn will help him to find Sita Mata. So what happens is that Bhagwan Ram, he helped Sugriv to secure the throne of Kishkinda. That's why this Khanda is called Kishkinda Khan, because this place where these things happen, and the Ramayan is known as an itihas. Itihas means as it happened. So this is not a fable. Many people think that this Ramayan is mythology, and that is a fable. But we as Hindus, we must recognize the term. And I want you to hear you all say, itihas. Itihas. It's an itihas, and that means as it happened. So the Ramayan actually happened. So what happened is that Sugriv, after gaining the crown of Kishkinda, what he did, he started to forget about what his responsibilities are. So then Ram became very, it was not actually Sri Ram who became upset, it was Lakshman, because he is known to have a little bit of anger. Lakshman became very angry with Sugriv, and at one point he wanted to go and seek him out and give him a thrashing. So when people are not keeping their ends of the deal as friends, what should they get? They should get a thrashing. Yes. Over here we can't thrash anymore. The next thing you know is the police is at your door. All right? You always have to be humble. As I said, you have to be humble, and you have to treat everybody with respect. All right? So don't give anybody a thrashing. But in those days, thrashing was like the way to do it. All right? So then Angad would go and Angad would console and talk to Sugriv, and then Sugriv would come, and Sugriv would learn would catch back his senses, so to speak. And what will he will help? He'll start to look for Sita Mata along with the other wanderers. And they search and search and search, and they got very hungry, and they got very tired, so much so that they were starving. The next set of verses that I'm going to chant, they come from the Valmiki Ramayana. Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. बरसाने में दो कि मुख से हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि 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 Hari 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 Jai Shri Hari 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 Jai Shri Hari 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 Jai Shri Hari 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 Bol Hari Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol बरसाने दे दो मुख से हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल एवं मुक्त हनुमान का तापसी धर्मचारिणी एक मुक्त हनुमता तापसी धर्मचारिणी एक तत्वाली हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल प्रत्युवाचा हनुमंता सर्वभूतहिते रता मयो नाम महादेवा मायवी Hari 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 Jai Shri Hari 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 Bol Hari Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol Tenedam Nirvitam Sarvam Mayaya Kanchanam Puradhanam Kayanam Vishwakamam Babhuvaha 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 Hari 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 Jai Shri Hari 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 Bol Hari Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol बरसाने दे दो मुख से हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल येन राम कंचनम दिव्यम निर्मितं भवनीतमं साधु वर्ष सहस्राणि तपसत्व महर वने महर वने महर वने हरि 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 जय श्री हरि 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 जय श्री हरि 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 जय श्री हरि 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 बोल 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 हरि हरि बोल. Anybody here is hungry? There's lots of food here. I see the boxes carted already for all of us. In a few minutes, that will happen. So the Vanar tribe that was gathered here, Sugriv and everyone else, Angad, Jamwan, they were all getting hungry from the search. Not only hungry, but thirsty. So what do you do when you are hungry? You search for food. Common sense, right? Over here, you go in your nice big refrigerator and you start taking out food and stuff yourself. So they didn't have refrigerators in those days, so they had to look for food in the wilds. So they were living in the mountains. They were there in the mountains. And Hanuman noticed that at the mouth of one of the mountains, there were birds. Not only birds, but these birds, they were flying out of the mountain with wet feathers. They were coming out of the mountain with wet feathers. And there's not one, there were many birds. So Hanuman deduced. And here again we are seeing the intelligence of Bhagwan. Hanuman Chalisa tells us, Bhagavad Vidya Dehu Harahu Kalisha Vikar, that Bhagwan Sri Hanuman is filled with knowledge and wisdom. He's filled with knowledge and wisdom, and he used that wisdom. You know, if you have wisdom and if you have knowledge and you can't use it, is it serving anyone or you? No. Is it worth bragging about? No. You cannot have wisdom and knowledge and not use it. You must use it. Use it and use it wisely. To benefit who? The gods amongst us. To benefit the gods amongst us. We're all gods. People laugh when the words are mentioned. Hindus have 30 million gods. Do you all understand why we have 30 million gods? The God is one. He resides in the turtle. And out of him came the limbs. The limbs came from the shell. This comparison is used the turtle is used as a comparison, but when you think of a turtle with four legs, you're limited. But imagine Bhagwan being more powerful. And there are many limbs coming out as all of us, as his expression. We come out as bacteria, we come out as plants, we come out as rocks, we come out as the sun, we come out as the moon, we come out as the earth, we come out as water, we come out as wind. Hindus worship all these things. Are you going to stop worshiping the water? Are you going to stop worshiping the people tree? Are you going to stop worshiping the banyan tree? Are you going to stop worshiping the tulsi plant? Because people mock you and say you have 30 million gods. We have 30 million gods because we all come from that one supreme God. We all come from that one supreme God. And because we come from him, we are all gods. So Hanuman and Ivana, they went into that cave. It was a struggle to get into that cave. And in getting into that cave, they had to walk far and far. And that is what the Valmiki Ramayan is telling us. That they had to walk miles, many miles, before suddenly they start to see fruits, they start to discover water, and as they were walking, they were rejoicing with food and water. Fruits. You know, people always ask, where is it said in the Shastras? Where is it said in the Shastras that man should be vegetarian? The ocean was there, but they left the ocean. You're right by the ocean, and they left the ocean and they went inside the cave to search for fruits and vegetables. It's implied that we, humans, we should be vegetarians. It is implied that we are not born to eat this and that. We are born to be strictly vegetarian. And it's implied in many parts of our Shastras that we should be vegetarian. Here is one place where it is implied that we should be vegetarian. So they went in there and they saw, but suddenly they came and they found a woman in there, a hermitress. Her name was Swayam Prabha. They found this woman there, and she was deep in meditation. So they tell this woman their story, that they were looking for Sita, and they ended up by the shores, and for that reason they got very thirsty and very hungry, and they were searching for food. Swayam Prabha tell them, there's lots of food here. Help yourself. So when they were finished, there was a little problem. And the problem is that they were not able to get out of that cave. And the question is, why is it they were not able to get out of that cave? Because this cave was very special. This cave was magical. Inside that cave, in that very spot, there was a palace where Swayam Prabha was. And Swayam Prabha, she was guarding this castle or this palace. And the reason why she was guarding this palace was because it was given to her. It was given to her by a young lady by the name of Hema. We have a Hema in the audience, by the way. Give Hema a big round of applause. And if your name comes up, I'll say give you a round of applause. Give yourself a big round of applause for the thing you're doing. So, how is it that this castle was built? This castle was built by an individual, a Rakshas individual, by the name of Maya. And here again, this Maya was not an illusion, he was real. There is a case where a man is named Maya. His name is Maya. He prayed to Bhagavan Sri Brahma, and he was blessed with a lot of architectural prowess, architectural skills. And he was also blessed with magical powers. And he built that castle in such a way that whosoever going there will not be able to get out. Whenever you go in this castle, if you were to go here, if you were to go to India, in this part of India, you go into that cave, be careful, because if you go there, you will stay there. Don't go in that palace. But right now they must have figured out a way to take you in there and bring you out back. You know, these tour guys, they're very smart, they're very wise. So Swayam Prabha says that he was telling Hanuman and the Vanars that Maya, he was blessed by Brahma with all his skills, and he constructed this magical palace, and whosoever go in there will not be able to come out. But he did one wrong thing. What he did was he did what Ravan did. So right away, Swayam Prabha understood what's going on with Ram, with Bhagavan Sri Ram. What he did, he sort of like stole one of the celestial damsel from the heavenly region. And Indra, the god Indra, got very angry with him and came and put his life to an end. So Indra in turn gave that palace to Hema. And Hema, because she was an Apsara, she was a good dancer, she went back to the celestial region, but she put Swayam Prabha in there to stay. The Ramcharit Manas dedicate only one chaupai to this part of the Valmiki Ramayana. And when I was reading it from the Ramcharit Manas, it wasn't making too much sense to me. So I went to the Valmiki Ramayana to find out what was actually happening. And so when Hanuman and all the Vanars realized that they could not get out, Swayam Prabha told them, will you all close your eyes? And this is the part that's documented in the Ramcharit Manas. Close your eyes. And when they closed their eyes, it was Swayam Prabha who used her magical power to get them out of that palace. And where did she get them? She get them to where Bhagavan Ram was standing outside. And immediately when Swayam Prabha got to where Sri Ram was standing, she prostrated at Bhagavan Ram's feet, and then she went straight to Kashi, to where Bhagavan Shiva is. She attained moksha, oneness with God. So the reason why I'm telling you this part of the Valmiki Ramayana is to let you know that most of the Ramcharit Manas, rarely do we find saintly women being mentioned. Last night we saw, of course, Shabri. Tonight we see Swayam Prabha. Rarely do we find women in venture. Does that mean, and my question is, does that mean that you don't have an Atma? Of course you have an Atma. You came from the body, the invisible body. You came from the invisible body of Bhagwan Ram, or God, and you came as women, and you are equal to men. You're a part of the human, you're part of humanity. And for that reason, you two are, all women should be respected also. And as members of the community, you should all be respected. So this kata started from where Hanuman is asking all of us, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are we? And we have progressed to this point where all the Vanars are back at the shore. They have satisfied their hunger. They have satisfied their hunger, and they are happy again. But does hunger is hunger satiated for more than 3 hours? Every 3 hours you want to eat something. Every 4 hours. So the Vanars, they got hungry again. But will they go back into that castle, into that palace? The answer is no. Because if they were to go there, if they were to go back in that palace, they will not be able to get out. Even Hanuman, and I have to add, even Hanuman could not get out. And I have to ask this question, why is it that Hanuman is not able to get out? One would expect that Hanuman is supreme, and he would get out of that cave, that palace in that cave. But even Hanuman could not get out. For that reason, they were not tempted to go back there when they got hungry again. But something else would happen, and that will uplift their spirit. That will uplift their spirit to the maximum point where everyone will become very happy. Everyone will become very peaceful once again. Vaishnavan mere kahiye mere parani sai Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Shri Ram Jai Ram Angad Kahai Jau Me Para Jya Samsaya Kachu Tir Divara Jamavant Kah Tumh Sab Layak Patyakini Sab Shikhar Nayak Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Kahai Richapati Suno Hanumana Kachup Sari Rahe Ho Balwana Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Pavan Tanaya Bal Pavan Samana Buddhi Vivek Vijnana Nirana Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Kavan Soka जग माही जो नहीं होई ता तुम पाई। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। राम काज लगी तव अवतारा सुनत ही भयऊ पर्वत तारा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। कनक बरन तन तेज विराजा मानहु अपर गिरन कर राजा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। सिंहनाद घड़ी बारही बारा नीलही नागऊ जल निधिकारा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। सहित सहाय रावण मारी आनऊ इहा त्रिकूट उपारी। जामवंत में पूछऊ तोरी उचित सिखावनु दीजहु मोरी। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। कीर्तन करहु तात तुम ताई यही से ही कहूँ सुधियाई। तब निज बुझ बल राजीवन कौतुक लाई संग कपि सेना। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय। So Hanuman, he was not able to get out of the cave. Can anybody tell me why? Because he does not have the power that he was born with. A straw was pronounced by him, upon him, by great sages. You know, Hanuman, if a sage was sitting under a mango tree, for example, and Hanuman wanted to eat a mango, we all know that Hanuman loves mangoes, he would not climb the tree. And even if he wanted to climb the tree, he wanted to be sort of like a bad child. He would always shake the tree. And then all the mangoes would fall. And if this sage is sitting under the tree, the mangoes would fall and hit their heads or his head. And that is what happened. So every time he would sort of play with the sage. Because all this was just destined to happen. For Ramayan to be played out. All this was destined to happen. All these things that we are seeing that are happening in these khandas, they're destined to happen. So the sage pronounced a straw for him, that you will not remember who you are until you are reminded. And what we are seeing in this Chaupai here is Jamwant. Jamwant is reminding Hanuman, oh Hanuman, don't you know who you are? You are the son of the wind, you are Pavan Putra Hanuman. If there's anyone here who can help us, it is you, O Bhagavan Hanuman. It is you who can do it. Jayawat is telling him. And then as he was reminding, remember, this is what, until somebody reminds you, Hanuman, that's when you're going to have your power. So Jamwant was reminding him, don't you know who you are? You are destined to serve this gentleman, the Supreme Lord who is standing in front of us here. You are a supreme power. You're the one who will accomplish everything. And as soon as Hanuman was hearing these words, and he was being reminded, the Chaupang said that he grew and grew and grew. Before he was like a nobody, taking orders from Sugriv and everybody else. He was like a nobody. And then suddenly, he could not even come out of the cave. Suddenly, he realized who he really is. And he's telling every one of them, I am Pawanputra Hanuman. If there's anybody who is going to cross this ocean here that lies ahead of us, it is I who will do it. It is I who will do it. But then his modesty and his humility overcome him. And he says to Sugriv, he says to Jayawant, oh Jayawant, I'm going to take orders for you. I want to go there and put an end to Ravan right away and bring back Sita Mata here, but I will take your orders. Tell me, what is it you want me to do? And then Jayawant will tell him, all we want you to do is to go to Lanka and see the whereabouts of Sita Mata. And once you have done that, you would have fulfilled a great duty for all of us. And that is what Hanuman will do. I know it's running late, and I thought I would end with this Sanskrit stotra that I put together, and it describes Hanuman. Vande Santam Hanumantam Shri Ramadutam Bhagavantam 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 Pavana Putra Shri Hanuman Shri Vallabha Shri Ram Bhaktam Pavana Putra Shri Hanuman Sita Vallabha Shri Ram Bhaktam Vande Santam Hanumantam Shri Ramadutam Bhagavantam Vande Santam, everybody. Vande Santam Hanumantam Shri Ramadutam Bhagavantam Pingaksham Amitavikramaha Dasharatanandam Shri Ram Priyam Pingaksham Amitavikramaha Dasharatanandam Shri Ram Priyam Vande Santam Hanumantam Vande Santam Hanumantam Shri Ramadutam Bhagavantam Vande Santam Hanumantam Anjani Sutam Sankara Suvan Keshari Nandam Himashailam Anjani Sutam Sankara Suvan Keshari Nandam Himashailam Vande Santam Hanumantam Vande Santam Hanumantam Shri Ramadutam Bhagavantam Vande Santam Hanumantam Vayu Putta Mahabalam Rameshah Palugan Sakha Ramesh Vayu Putra Mahabalam Rameshah Palugan Sakha Vande Santam Hanumantam Shri Ramadutam Bhagavantam Vande Santam Hanumantam Shri Ramadutam Bhagavantam Sita Shoka Vinashanam Atulita Balaramam Dhanuchavam Sita Shoka Vinashanam Atulita Balaramam Dhanuchavam Vande Santam Hanumantam Vande Santam Hanumantam Ramadutam Bhagavantam Vande Santam Hanumantam Lakshman Pranadata Hanumantam Lakshman Pranadata Hanumantam Uddhati Kramam Bhagavantam Vande Santam Hanumantam Vande Santam Hanumantam Ramadutam Bhagavantam Ramadutam Bhagavantam दशग्रीवस्य दर्पः दत्त्वा ज्ञानं कपीश्वरं दशग्रीवस्य दर्पः दत्त्वा ज्ञानं कपीश्वरं वन्दे सन्तं हनुमन्तं रामदूतं भगवन्तं वन्दे सन्तं हनुमन्तं रामदूतं भगवन्तं महावीर बजरंगबली ज्योतिष्मते नमो नमः श्री महावीर बजरंगबली ज्योतिष्मते नमो नमः वन्दे सन्तं हनुमन्तं रामदूतं भगवन्तं वन्दे सन्तं हनुमन्तं रामदूतं जय प्रदाय सुखदाय ईश्वराय नमो नमः जय प्रदाय सुखदाय ईश्वराय नमो नमः जय प्रदाय सुखदाय ईश्वराय नमो नमः वन्दे सन्तं हनुमन्तं रामदूतं भगवन्तं वन्दे सन्तं हनुमन्तं रामदूतं भगवन्तं श्री हनुमान चतुर्विंश नाम स्तोत्रम श्री महादेव देवप्रसाद और श्री पंडित महादेव देवप्रसाद कुटुंब श्री शिव शंकराय अर्पण नमस्तु ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम. So Hanuman, by becoming enlightened, everyone around him, they forgot what that they were hungry anymore. They realize who they are. They are all filled with energy. They all became filled with energy, just like Hanuman. Hanuman here realized who he is also. And so too, as those members of this community who are being honored here today and the rest of the days in Ramayan report, I want you to realize that you are all gods and goddesses also. And may God bless all of you and keep you well, healthy and happy, prosperous and peaceful throughout your life. Prince Lord Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki jai.
Tonight. Tomorrow night will be a very long night because we have Sri Krishna Janmashtami. So Narkal will be discussed tomorrow night and Sri Krishna Janmashtami, part of that as well. And I know many of you want to go to your respective mandirs to celebrate Sri Krishna Janmashtami tomorrow evening. So it'll be a long night tomorrow. It'll be a long night tonight as well. But I want to put your hands together and give our Vyashi a nice round of applause for your job well done tonight. He took us through the entire Ishkila from beginning to end as you listened attentively, and he blended it nicely with the episodes from the Sri Valmiki Ramayana. First chaupai of the Ishkila Khan. Very important chaupai that he began his discourse with. And that chaupai speaks a lot. When Sri Ram pushes forward, आगे चली बहुरी रघुराया ऋष्यामुख पर्वत नीराया तार सचिव सहित सुग्रीवा आवत देख दुर्बल सीमा. And then Ramayana told us, we're just recapping here so you leave with the message, wouldn't be forgotten here tonight. He told us how Sri Ram is making his way to the forest there with his brother Lakshman. And then Sugriva, who is perched on the Vishamukara, but he sees these two strangers walking at the foot of the hill, and he thinks that they were spies sent by Bali to destroy him. And in that mood of fear, he was so fearful, so afraid, that he dispatched Dhanadhan Sri Hanumanji, the conqueror of fear. Ati sabita talaga Hanuman, the Kishkinda Khan says. So go and interrogate these two strangers, find out who they are, and signal me accordingly. And Hanumanji goes, and as our Vyasji, he reiterated that question. When Hanumanji went and he approached these two strangers, and he begins his series of questioning, Ko tu Mishama Gaura Shriya, Shakti Rupa Kirubal Vira, Katira Bhumi Komal Pragami, Kalo Vicharan Manuswami. Who are you two strangers? Who are you two? Are you Narayan? He's seeing divinity in them. And then when Sri Ram now is going to respond, he says, Ko sale sadasat ke jaye, hum bitu bachal mani ban aaye, naam Ram Lakshman dol aaye, sanganai sukumari suhari. Now that chaupa is very important in the Kishkinda account of Ramayana. Because there, Ko sale sadasat ke jaye, you see, you have to look at the sequence, how Tulsidas very, very skillfully crafts this chaupa. The first two lines of the chaupa refers to Kosale Dasharatha, the father of Sri Ram. And the second two lines, Sri Ram identifies himself by his name, Ram and Lakshman. Now, these two lines ought to be inverted. See, Sri Ram should have said, could have said, we are Ram and Lakshman, right? It would be appropriate, it would be fitting. My name is Ram, this is my brother is Lakshman. And then in the second two lines, we are sons of Dashrath. That would be very appropriate. All of us would identify like that. If you were asked the question, who are you? You tend to identify your name first. That's so. But he chose to identify first by his father. Why? If Dashrath was a bad person, no son would want to invoke his name for identification purposes. But it shows Sri Ram's loyalty to his father. It shows the relationship that Dashrath had with his sons. It shows that even posthumously, Sri Ram is proud of his father. Sri Ram revered his father. He was a dutiful son to his father. That is the reason why wherever he went, Dashrath, his father, Dashrath, occupied a position of priority. And then he identified, well then, my name is Ram and this is Lakshman. Or Vyasji told us also about the importance of names. And Vyasji, I also get those calls too. Yes, when the baby is born. Can you please check the book and find an appropriate name for the baby? And if I'm busy for some reason and I'm unable to do so, they get angry with me. And I check the book. I don't know who they are, many people, I don't know them, but I do my duty. I give them the syllable, the first syllable. I also give them some suggestions, nice names and nice meanings. And then you meet them at some point, and you meet the baby. What is the baby name? What is the name? Crystal? Edwin? All these names. Well, I don't have any problem with these American names, But the point is, you're asking that we have to preserve our names. Now, I just got back from Ghana in Africa. And I must tell you this. Some of you must have seen my posting on Facebook when I went there. In Ghana, the fastest growing religion is Hinduism. There are more than 250,000 Hindus living in Ghana. Now, where I go there, to the Hindu monastery of Africa, these are African Hindus. These are not one of them is an Indian. These are black African Hindus. They're all blacks. I'm the only Indian when I go there. Now, you must know that 100% of these devotees who are there, they all have Hindu names. And 75% of them are vegetarians also. Now, when you look at these people, I get two feelings. I feel proud and I feel ashamed also. I feel proud that they are upholding and uplifting our dharma, keeping it alive. And I feel ashamed of our own people who walk away from it, who don't know the value, of the names, you see, and you know. So these names are very important. They consolidate our identity. And if you want to preserve our culture, you got to begin by preserving these names. Now you say, well, when you go to school, my Bert is here. He's an educator, and he will tell you also. The kids say, well, when you go to school, well, these names are very funny names, and they make fun of you because the name sounds so funny, so you rather have an American name. And the parents say so, we give them American names, so they blend in nicely with the Americans. But we have a lot of Chinese names out there too. We have Japanese names. We have names from other cultures, Jewish names, and so on. And they carry their names with pride. Nobody's ashamed, they're not ashamed to carry their name. That's so. Why must we be ashamed? These names are very important. You see, back in the days, The name tells you who you are. The name tells you where you came from. It tells your whole history. So my dear brothers and sisters, take a message from Vyasi tonight. The next generation, and you can change, it's not that you can change the name, as he said. You can change it. Now Hanumanji went to Sri Ram in disguise, and Sri Ram saw through this disguise of Hanumanji, and Hanumanji becomes embarrassed. And then he begins and he says that that, oh Lord, please, my faults are many. Please do not take it into account. Please don't cast this servant of yours into oblivion. And that is a message for all of us as well. When you go before the Lord, you don't go in disguise. He sees right through your heart. He knows you go with sincerity. You must be genuine. And you surface all your faults and limitations. And He knows what they are. And He is an all-forgiving God. And He's going to embrace you like He embraced Sri Hanumanji. And Vyasi continued into the Kishkinda, whereby that alliance was formed between Sugriv and Hanumanji. Talk about friendship also. Now, I'll tell you a story quickly. There were two friends who were walking in the forest. And they made a pledge to each other that no matter what happens, we're going to be there for each other. The friends said, no matter what happens, we're going to be there for each other. So as they were walking now, a bear appeared. And when this bear appeared, the first friend now, he got scared. He ran up a tree to hide from this bear. So the bear wouldn't get him. The second friend, he didn't know how to climb the tree. So he decided now to lie down on the ground and play dead. So that the bear would think that he would attack him. So the bear now began to sniff in the ears of this guy lying on the ground. He sniff, and then he walked away. When he walked away, the poor guy breathed a sigh of relief, and he got up. This one, other friend came down from the tree. He said, "Wow, man, that was so close." And he said, "I saw the bear sniffing your ear. What did the bear say to you?" He said, "The bear told me, never trust a false friend." Yeah, that's what Vyasa was saying. See, when Lakshman became angry with Sugriv because he was not fulfilling his side of the deal, the bargain. So friendship is important. A true friend is someone who leads you away from the path of vices, who would lead you away from peer pressure. A true friend who will always lead you on the right path. कोई जब राह न पाए मेरे संग आए कि पग पग दीप जलाए मेरे दोस्ती मेरा प्यार. When you're lost in this maze of the world, come take my hand, said a true friend. I will lead you out of this, I'll lead you to safety. And then finally, in the Kishkinda, as Vyasi told us now, when all these varnas were gathered in shores of the ocean, and this task was to go to Lanka, and when they all examined their strengths and their weaknesses, and they felt inadequate, incapable of carrying on this task, then Jambavan spoke to Hanuman, Kahani Chesaka Suru Hanumana, Kha chup rahe, Rahe Bhavana. Oh Hanumanji, why are you so silent? You are all powerful. You are, and then one sentence that Jambavan uses to Hanumanji that moved him off his feet. And that sentence applies to you and me tonight, as we learn with the Ramayana. Ram Kaj Lahitava Avatar. That, oh Hanumanji, you were born, you came into this world to do the purpose of the Lord, to serve the Lord. And that message I will tell you tonight. All of us here came for the same purpose. In whatever vocation you may serve, in whatever way you may happen to serve in the world, each of us, with our singular and collective contributions, we all came here to do the bidding and to serve the purpose of the Lord. Ram Kaj Lahitava Avatara. When Hanumanji heard these words, then right away, Suratahu Parvatakara, he leapt and he stretched to the size of a mountain. Then he took up this challenge, and he would go the next Khan, Sundarkan, he would go to Lanka. So this is what we have learned tonight, my dear brothers and sisters, from Vyasi. You know, I travel every day here. It takes me like an hour and a half to get here because of the traffic, and that's Southern State Parkway to get here. And I don't come here every night to comment on the Vyasis necessarily or to give a summary. I come here, just like you, to listen to the Ramayana. And I like, when I listen to the Ramayana, I must enjoy the Ramayana. Because I like to listen as well, not only to recite, but to listen. And tonight I must tell you I listened, and I really enjoyed. So please give the Galaxy a round of applause. So Galaxy, we want to thank you very much. May Saraswati Mata will bless you and keep shining, keep the great work going. You have many more years ahead. I think you were like the most senior of all, but this will be officiating during that time. Is that right? Yeah. So you should be the director of the channel. So you will see.
I already have a title more than the Ramayana.
Oh, you have higher title than the channel. Oh, okay. You like the Pope. Okay. So, my dear brothers and sisters, we want to thank you very much. It's getting late now, and as I said, we have a long night tomorrow night. I'd like to invite you all, when you finish here, if you are choose to go, please join us at our mandir. Also, the Sri Chumurti Bhavan will be having Christian Janamashmi, the midnight celebration. So, we will be there until like 12:30 a.m. However, tomorrow night, young Mahadeo Deopersaud is officiating for us from the Sundarkand of Sri Ram Church Maharaj. You know what means that? He has a very beautiful, powerful message for all of us here tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy him. I will be here part-time before I leave for the mandir. Also, I would like to invite all of you to join us on the 28th of this month, which will be not Sunday coming, the other Sunday, at the beach, Cross Bay Beach. We're going to have our annual Ganga Puja. We didn't get to do it because of the pandemic for the past 2 years. But this year, we got our permit and everything. 7 a.m. in the morning, Cross Bay Beach, Ganga Puja. Ganga Puja is very, very important. So please join us again for that. We look forward to seeing you there as we shall together worship Ganga Ma. So once again, Sri Ram's blessings to all of you. Thank you very much for leading the concourse for your home, putting aside your chores and joining us here tonight. May the blessings of the Lord be with all of you. Jai Shri Ram.
कीरति करे तरत सिया प्रीति आयत श्री राम आयत कीरति करे तरत सिया आयत श्री राम आयत जी की कीरति करे तरत सिया प्रीति आयत श्री रामायण जी की कीरत कल्प ललित सिया प्रीति आयत श्री रामायण जी की कीरत कल्प ललित सिया प्रीति प्रापत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीकि ज्ञान विशारद प्रापत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद सनकादिशेषु अनुसारदे वरनि भवनि सुति कीरति कियो आरति श्री राम आरति श्री रामायण जी कीरति कलि ललित सिया कीरति कलि ललित सिया प्रीति संतन गापर शंभु भवानी अनुखट संभव मुनि में ज्ञानी शंभु भवानी अनुखट संभव मुनि में ज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि परिच बखाई हो काग बसूली का रुड़की हो आरति श्री राम आरति श्री रामायण कीरति करे ललित सिया प्रीति आरति श्री रामायण जी कीरति करे ललित सिया प्रीति श्री रामायण जी की कीरत गल ललित सिया प्रीति
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरत गल ललित सिया प्रीति
कानों में बुलाने अष्ट से चाओ शास्त्र सब गंधले घोर से
Come together, concluding prayers. Tonight, as we bring this session to its conclusion, we pray that may Bhagwan continue to bless our Mataji Chandravati, who recently celebrated her 81st birthday. May the Lord continue to bless her with good health, with at least 105 years of existence. May the blessings of Bhagwan also be with the departed soul of our late Dharmacharji, Mahadeo Deopersaud, the consort of our Mataji. May He continue to bless us all, bless us Ramayana depart. May the Lord bless all of us who come from far and near. We gather here tonight as empty vessels to be filled to the brim with the divine exploits taken from the Sri Ramacharita Manas. O Lord, who art mother, who art father, who art friend and companion, we surrender to your lotus feet. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Tvameva Matascha Pita Tvameva Bandhuti Sakha Tvameva Vidya Gavinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Sarvisham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvisham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvisham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvisham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Nirāmayah Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu Ma Kasya Dukha Bhagave Om Asatu Ma Sadagamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurama Amritam Gamaya Om Yau Shanti